Hello students, Mr. Jen here with Chapter 8, Greek Civilization. If you're on task, today's the 14th, so we're right about here. Yep. If we look on the calendar, that's right here. And this chapter is going to take us all the way up to the 22nd. Our test for Chapter 8 will be the last day before winter break, and then boom, we're off all here. And we'll pick up on the next chapter starting in the second. So yep, we're going to fill this time up with this age. Interesting stuff going on here. In lesson 1, we cover a lot of Greek culture. Things that a lot of kids are into, like the Greek gods, stuff like that. I have my textbook right here. Yeah, Greek gods. The story of the Trojan horse. Epics and fables, like Aesop's fables. You may have heard of Aesop's fables. Fables, of course, being like they tell there's like a moral to the story. And we also talk a little bit about basically theater. I know we got a lot of CPFA kids that are in the theater and stuff like that. We're going to talk about Greek dramas and their impacts. So like tragedies, comedies, what a Greek comedy is. Things like that. And a little bit in architecture. Lesson 2 is all about basically Greek philosophy. There's a lot in there. So Socrates, Plato, stuff like that. Basically, the main Greek philosophers, and a little bit into like what they thought. Socratic process, Hippocratic oath, stuff like that. Not too much. It's not like a college, ethics course or anything like that. But we go into a little bit of detail on Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates, and a little bit on science. Lesson 3, things pick up and get a little exciting because it's pretty much a whole lesson on Alexander the Great. And so Alexander the Great was from a country north of Greece, just north of Greece, called Macedonia. He goes about basically sort of duplicating Greek ways, conquering the Greek peninsula by a number of means, and then going on to annihilate Persia and fighting all the way into India. Remember we talked about India. We said sort of that first empire of India united to fight the common threat that was Alexander the Great. His men made it all the way to fighting elephants in India. And then they were like, we've been gone we're fighting crazy monsters, the elephants. We're too far from home. We've been gone for years. And the men basically made Alexander turn back, or who knows, maybe he would have conquered India too. And then the last lesson is about what's called the Hellenistic Age. So you see, when Alexander went and swept forth and conquered a vast swath of land in Asia Minor, Greece, Macedonia itself. He turned around and conquered Egypt at one point, and then he took that Greek culture that he sort of assimilated into his own culture, and then that Greek culture spread to the whole empire he had created, and you had Greek things in Egypt and Asia Minor and things like that. That's called the Hellenistic Age, sort of this age where Greek culture spread to other parts of the world. We're going to talk about that, and there's some math involved and more on scientists and thinkers. And then at the very end, the very last subsection of the lesson, we talk about Rome, this new up-and-coming city-state, and that's what we're getting into next, I believe. Rome. So this will segue us into starting ancient Rome as soon as we get back in 2018. So that's what we're looking at. Go ahead, check out the vocab on the next page. Knock out the vocab assignment, and then it's a Thursday, so we'll have something else to do. It'll be either Teen Biz or Current Events. I can't remember which now, but it'll be there, so do it. I'll make it next. Alright, have a wonderful day.